Welcome to Midday. We're visiting first with Chantal Briscoe. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, Katie.
We always get a great education in here, and I'm always sold.
Oh, good.
So many things to know in so many different areas of our body and how we work that we can improve and get better educated on. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're actually talking about respiratory health. So I know it's a little bit late because our smoke situation is clearing up, which is fantastic.
Never too late. I think this is something we're going to experience even as we head into the fall. So there's still much to be learned. So Nature's Fair has some tips.
Oh, yes, definitely. And the thing about respiratory health is we're looking outside and we're seeing all this smoke and we're thinking, so I know it's not great for us, but how is it actually affecting us? So what's happening is we're actually inhaling all these microparticles, and they do basically line our lungs when we're inhaling them in. So it's not a great situation. And if you do have a pre-existing medical condition like cardiovascular disease or a respiratory condition like COPD or asthma, it really affects these people a lot more.
Right.
So we have some great tips today.
Okay.
First off, I'd like to just mention all the masks that we're seeing around town. So when you're choosing...
There's a lot of debate between, you know, the benefits and the drawbacks. Do they actually do anything?
So it's important to choose one that is made for small particles. So if you buy a surgical mask or a dust mask, it actually is not going to be blocking the smoke particles. So it's actually doing more harm than good. It might be making it harder for you to breathe.
Right.
And so what you want to look for is what's called an N95 respirator or better. And we need to make sure that they are well fitted.
Okay.
There are also elastomeric respirators. So these are the bigger respirators with these.
Right, the hard working ones. Yeah, ones you might see on people who are working outside doing manual labor.
Yes. So those again are going to be the step up from the N95.
Right.
And they do need to be well fitted, and you do need to make sure they are hooked on properly.
Okay.
If you're just holding it up, it's just going to make it harder to breathe, and there's really no point.
Yeah, really just inhibit getting air properly. And,
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, if you do have COPD or asthma, always ask your doctor first, because it might make it harder for you to breathe.
Right, and it may be more beneficial just to stay indoors if you can.
Yes, definitely. That's the next
permitting.
That's the next recommendation. Definitely stay inside if it's a high-risk situation. And don't do anything super physical outside. Try to limit how much time you're spending outside too.
And I think that as we almost get used to, it sounds funny to say, but get used to these conditions, we're all becoming a little less wary, finding ourselves outside more.
Yes, and we're finding it easier to deal with, but maybe we're actually having more symptoms. Maybe we're coughing a bit more, we have a sore throat, maybe we're getting a nosebleed often, right? And these are all symptoms that we are irritated and our lung system is inflamed.
Okay, so staying aware of those things.
Yes, exactly. Next off is drinking enough water and making sure that we have enough electrolytes, because that is actually going to help our body process these extra particles that we're breathing in, and also it's going to keep us hydrated, which is so important when it's hot.
So actually to flush that stuff out.
Yes, flush it out. And we do have some great products as well that I brought today. The first one that we'll be looking at is Respiractin. So this is the liquid on the end here. What this does is it actually helps to open our airways. It helps us get a nice deep breath. So it's really great for anyone with asthma, COPD. It's just a blend of herbals, and it works very well.
Okay, so is it pill form? It looks like it's liquid form.
These are liquids.
Okay, it is a liquid.
Yes, that is a liquid. And so it's going to work really quickly. We're usually taking it a couple times throughout the day.
Interesting.
And taking it before bed, we find that it really helps us open the airways so we can sleep.
Okay. Okay, so anyone who has asthma or children who have asthma, that's a great thing to be aware of. Come in and ask more about that.
And there are children formulas as well, so that's a really great product for that.
Fantastic, okay.
Next, we have the lung bronchial and sinus product by Natural Factors. This one is fabulous for any sort of congestion, any sort of chronic sinus and bronchial inflammation, and it can be taken for a prolonged period of time. So especially when we are dealing with a smoky situation, it's a good supplement to just add to your repertoire and make sure that our body is reducing the inflammation.
Something that's preventative as well, right? Instead of waiting until it's really bad and then trying to treat it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And next we have our horseradish product from Whole Earth and Sea. This is kind of an interesting one. Because not only is it helping with respiratory relief, but it's also helping with immune strength. So we're finding that people are getting sick more often because they are having this inflamed respiratory system.
Right.
So this is a great product to reduce that inflammation and reduce the chance of getting sick.
Horseradish.
I know,
Why
right?
Horseradish.
Well, have you been for sushi recently?
Yeah, as often as possible.
Yeah, so when you're...
Just the clearing out.
Exactly, when you eat that wasabi and you know that instant clearing that you get, it actually, horseradish is just amazing for that. So this is the first product I've seen like this with horseradish in it, and it's just amazing how well it works.
Okay, great.
And then last but not least, of course, just electrolytes. Adding those important minerals back to your water, sodium, potassium, magnesium. It's so important when we are drinking more water to make sure that we replace the electrolytes, or else you might have symptoms like headache, muscle cramps,
lightheadedness,
fatigue. Exactly.
All that stuff. And what form is that in?
This is a powder, and it's really delicious. There's all sorts of flavors. You can just mix it into your water, however strong you want, and drink it throughout the day. It's just fabulous.
I think most of us, when we think like replenishing electrolytes, we think a sports drink or Gatorade, that kind of a thing. But this is another option.
Yes,
and you'll avoid some of the sugars.
Yes, this is sugar-free. This is sweetened with stevia, and it doesn't have any nasty dyes or any other nasty little additives. And we do find it's more concentrated, so you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. And it's going to be cheaper doing something like this than buying a pre-mixed sports drink.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. Great information as always. Katie. Thanks, Chantal. We look forward to having you back. And if you'd like more information, you can visit naturesfair.com. We'll be back with more Midday in just a moment.